Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so we were taking the explanation over this retailing and wholesaling, and I suppose that you would have got the idea about what is retailing, and very importantly, that we have to know about what kind of retailers exist for us to take about our marketing activities successfully towards the hands of the consumers, because the retailers and consumers are very much closer than maybe, unless if we are not doing about the direct marketing, we have to really rely on the retailers and their activities. So our product to be successful, actually the retailers have to have about a good relationship with the consumers. In by that only you will be able, or we will be able to do our businesses or our operations in a successful way. So in that respect, that we are looking into this retailing and wholesaling. And retailing, very particularly, we said who are the retailers, and of course, who to be the retailing retailers, as well as what is their action. And again, the retailing can be considered to be as shopper marketing and mini channeling retailing. And then of understanding the retailers, there are number of retailers, so it is very complicated for us to know about their what you call role that is being played, and not only that, how the different retailers are different from each other, right? So identifying that had been very complicated, and therefore that we had some classification. So the classification, we tried to move on understanding of each classified retailers, right? So that we have already seen. And further to that, we went on looking into what sort of strategies that can be put forward. Same as us, or same as the marketers, the retailers also will have marketing strategies, since that they are dealing with the consumers direct away. So, what is their retail strategy and what is their retail marketing mix has also been discussed with. And with that, we also really saw about nowadays what sort of trends are there regarding of retailing, as well as what sort of development they have gone through. So in that way, we have also looked into very particularly different types of retailers, right? So that has been also one. And now most of the time that rather than having a store, it is a non-store retailing or virtual retailing taking place, and where that in some instances it may be direct, that is direct marketing, or it can be online and mobile, as well as the social media. And now, so therefore, in order to check about this availability, so rather than running about a showrooming, we have a web rooming. So showrooming, of course, it is having the merchandise in stores, and then maybe using about these latest technology to purchase it. But web rooming is where that we check everything first through the online, and then make about the buying, or make about the orders for buying. And the omni-channel retailing, of course, which is now breaking about the boundaries between in-store as well as online, right? So earlier that we can distinguish in-store to be different and online to be different. Now through this omni-channeling, of course, these two are being broken, in the sense that boundary is being broken, and that boundary that we can Andy. चलो. Okay, sorry for that. So this, Insto and Insto as well as these online barriers have been broken by these Omni channeling. So therefore, that you will really understand what is meant by these Omni channeling. Whereas we cannot say whether that to be an in-store transaction or an online transaction. It is not actually separately done, right? So there is a combination of in-store with the online with this channeling type. So this is also in the recent past have been an emerging area for and also when it comes to this retailing, of course, we have to not forget about this technology, that is the technology inversion into this particular area. And by that, there are many things which have been eased or which have been simplified and more flexible enough, right? So by using about the technology, actually that they are able to get about a good focus. That is, the past data sales, may take into consideration, and by that they can predict about how much of sales that they would be having in the future. And also for the inventory control, this is also another area. When it had been a manual system, of course, that was really a big task to be carried out, for the reason, even in the inventory controlling that you would have studied, many techniques have been used, right? So in order to store the inventory in the stores also, there are many systems, and not only that, how to control the inventory, because we cannot have overloaded inventory, because the storage cost will be very much higher, and we have to have the maintenance, and also sometimes the price fluctuations can take place, so many problems are there. So then and there, the inventories has to be exchanged, or rather than transferred, right? For that, this inventory control system, which is being supported by the technology, plays about a major role. Electronic ordering, not to have manual systems to be applied, and sometimes it is been even connected with the stores, in the sense, now when you pick up, or when the retailer, sorry, not retailer, the customer goes into the retailer's showrooms, or wherever that, for them to pick about the products, and once that they come to the billing counter, so in the billing, the products, the codes will be entered, as well as the prices are being given there, and the total amount the customers pay and get the products. But of course, that will get into an information input, right? So these products have been taken away. So therefore, that they will be checking with the store how much of products available there. If not, then they have to make about a reordering, depending on the lower level, upper level, right? So many things that you would have studied here. Then about the transfer of information, that also as an example I told you, scanning, online transaction process, many things are being supported by this technology. So retail technology is also another area which have been what you call developed, and where that we have to give about a concern over there. And along with that, we also come across this green concept, right? Now, green HRM, green marketing, greening procurements, right? For all of the actions that we have conducted traditionally is incorporating uh, green, right? So, green now, in that respect, this retailing is also taken into the concept of green, and therefore it is said as green retailing. So for that, green retailing, in the sense, we are concerned about these environmental aspects, right? So maybe that to be pollutions, or maybe usage about the natural resources, right? So many things may come into that. So this environmental concern for the sustainable, right, development, so sustainable practices. So in the construction or store design and operation also, greening is being taken into concern. In the product assortments, when you are selecting about also, again we are looking into the greening. Then recycling, which is also very much taken place, where that now, since you are a retailer, you will be packing that into smaller quantities, and the package, which once that it is been opened, then how it is been disposed, how it can be recycled, right? And the packaging and the distribution. So these sort of things, we are incorporating the greening aspects, right? So that is also nowadays spoken as a major things. Then, of course, this global expansion, where that not we are very strong in our own countries, of course, that we have extended ourselves to be building about strong brands even in the other countries. Some are very successful, some may not be to that extent. But of course, not only the retailers are responsible for meeting about the local needs, but of course also they have gone into foreign development or foreign expansion or foreign markets. Right. Now, finally, it is also the concern of looking into this wholesaling, right? Wholesaling, of course, is not exactly as the retailing that we would have studied, but regarding of the wholesaling also, there are many marketing decisions that we have to make about. So that is what that we are going to look at the latter stage, right? So with this, that we will be completing about this marketing channel. Now, what does this wholesaling means is it includes of the activities where that these people involved is selling goods and services to those who buying for resale or business use, right? So there at the retailing, we saw that to be the final consumption and not for business use, right? So, if it is being sold in that way, that is what we call it as retailing. But wholesaling is what do you call contrast to what that we have defined or described for this retailing. Here we say the selling of goods are done in order that goods to be resold to someone. So, in the sense, if we are wholesalers, then we sell it to the retailers or for the business use. So, there are organizational people, organizational buyers who buy this product for their usage. So, it can be for the production, it can be for reselling, it can be for what you call making out the promises that they have made, right? So under this wholesaling, these are the very important functionings that they are providing over. So selling and promoting, buying and assortment building, bulk breaking, warehousing, transportation, financing, risk bearing, market information, management service, and advice, right? So these are the main functions that are being performed by this wholesaler. So in that junction, we will try to look into each of those functions one by one. The first one to be selling and promoting. Really, it involves with the wholesaler sales force helping the manufacturer reach many small customers at a lower cost, right? So, wholesalers are having about a supporting hand to the manufacturers, that is the marketers, as we, right, in order to make them reach out the customers, right? So customers at a lower cost, because if it is the manufacturer who has to find out the customers, then of course it is a very lengthier process, and manufacturers concentrating on the manufacturing side as well as looking into the customer's requirement may not be the easiest one for them to manage. So, when the wholesalers take about the responsibility of distributing the product to the consumer's hands, then their responsibilities have been very much eased, right? So, that is also a function promoted, or a function that is being given by, and not only that, they are promoting your products and services among the retailers as well as the consumers also. Consumers also have an opportunity of buying from the wholesalers, right, at the lower that they can buy. But the problem is consumers have to buy it in a bulk, right? Then the other function that they are providing is buying and assortment building, right? So where that as that they have contacts with many manufacturers, and not to be all the manufacturers being same or giving up the same items, that they can have a selection of products in the sense that they can build about the assortment, right? Different kinds or different product lines and different items within the product lines that they may be able to deal with, right? So in this juncture, that they are facilitating the customers. Now, rather than facilitating the manufacturers, here they are facilitating the customers by giving whatever products that they are wanted under one roof, right? So therefore, it has been saving about most of the very productive time of the customers. So customers need not to customers need not to wander or walk for different places finding out their requirement. They can come under one umbrella or come under one roof and get about different assortment one from one place. So here the place, what do you call, the place mix, no, marketing mix place only is what that we are talking about. So the place facilitation is provided here, right? Then to be bulk breaking, where that the wholesalers are buying quantities at a larger bulk or at a larger amount and breaking them into smaller amounts, where it is facilitating for the retailers to purchase from you, at the same time for the customers also to have a direct dealing, right? So the bulk, so in big lots or in big bundles that they get about the products and trying to break it into a smaller quantity. So it is facilitating the customers as well as the retailers to get the product, right? So that is also another service or function that they are providing. Then coming into the other one, that to be the warehousing. In warehousing, the what happens is the wholesalers are getting about bulk of products and inventing that in there or putting that in store. So therefore, they may be facilitating the customers cost of storing those products in their home front, right? Even for the retailers also, that sort of facility is being provided. Now, if we know that whenever that we wanted the product, we can get it, why that we are going to buy it in a lot and store that in our house, because there is high risk of having that for the future consumption. So then and there we can buy and have about the usage. So that sort of facilities are also provided by the wholesalers. And along with that, we can see that they are providing about the transportation, right? So in the transportation, what happens is they get the product from the manufacturers and make it available for the consumers to purchase whenever and whatever like time that they really wanted with, right? So they are making about the transportation, right? Wherever it is wanted, they may transfer, they may charge it, or the charge can be included in the price itself. So it depends. But of course, that they facilitate the what you call the change of product or the transfer of product from one place to another place, right? So that is also another facility that they have. Then coming into financing, really the wholesalers are providing credit and finance facilities for the people who really want it. So either it can be retailers or it can be the consumers who are buying in bulk, right? But of course, they may be providing what you call discounts if it is paid by cash on that time, or it may be paid in credit. But of course, they give about certain period of time for them to settle this amount. So financing facilities are also provided. And if you move along, uh, then we will come across that they are risk bearing, where these wholesalers are also like absorbing the risk by taking title and bearing the cost of theft, damage, spoilage, as well as obsolescence, right? Maybe it is not always sure, or it is not always definite that they may able to sell the product to the retailers or to the customers. So there is a high risk. So manufacturer wants that he manufactures and give about the product. Then thereafter he doesn't have any much of that much of risk on his hand, because he has already given the title to the title means the transfer of ownership, right? Title to the wholesalers, right? So he may not be bearing about the risk, but actually the risk is taken by the wholesalers, right? At the same time, when they are storing, they may come across, or they may face about the theft, right? That is being stolen, and some products to be damaged. Some are very much what you call sensitive towards the environmental conditions, as temperature or cold or whatever, right? Windy or whatever, right? So things get damaged with, and some of course may face about the spoilage and obsolescence. Sometimes the products may get outdated, where the consumers or retailers would refuse to purchase, right? So risk bearing is done by them. At the same time, they are also providing about the market information, right? So providing information to the custom about the customers, about the competitors, regarding of new products, price development changes which is happening over, may also uh, be able to be supplied by the wholesalers to the manufacturers. At the same time, it can be also provided to the retailers, right? So this much of facilitations that they are having. Right, and well, to that, we may come across that these wholesalers may have the management services and advisors, where the wholesalers are helping the retailers, training their sales people, that is the sales people of the retailers, and also they give some advices, or give some what you call suggestions over how that they will have a layout, and also in some instances they may be having about a support over this accounting and the inventory control system. So these are the facilities that are being provided by the wholesalers. So therefore, the wholesaling process is really wanted in the particular marketing arena, right? So we have to have them as a very important people. Otherwise, we may be, their action may be increasing about the prices. So that is the what you call acquisition that is made over. If you have wholesalers as an organization, they have to earn about the profits, and therefore they will be having about the margin, right? But anyway, having about these people is facilitated for the services that they are providing with, right? So that part also you would have understood well. Now, as that we have seen in the retailing, the types of wholesalers, here also you may come across the types of wholesalers. The main wholesalers types which are being given here, either they can be merchant wholesalers, or brokers and agents, or they can be manufacturers and retailers, branches and officers, right? So this is the three types we have. And so understanding of each of that, first to be the merchant wholesalers, right? So they may be providing two types of services, one to be full service and limited service. Full service wholesalers provide the full set of services, and limited service wholesalers provide few or very limited services, and specialized functions are being provided. Right. So this is a merchant wholesalers in the sense that they get the product, right, and have about the distribution done. Brokers and agents, of course, they don't take the title. This is the difference between the merchant, wholesalers, and brokers. Brokers, of course, they are not taking the title. Okay, means the product is not transferred to the wholesalers. But instead of that, they are providing some sort of facilities, right? So most of the time, connecting about two parties, in the sense the buyers and the sellers. So sellers are who? They are the manufacturers, and buyers are who? They are the consumers, right? So connecting, or the buyers can be retailers also. So connecting both of them, right? And with that, their function will come to a termination, and thereafter, these buyers and sellers only will transfer the title in between them, right? So that is the difference between the merchant wholesalers as well as the brokers and agents. So agents are people connecting only, so they are not taking the title. So here you can see brokers bring buyers and sellers together and assist in negotiation, and agents represent buyers or sellers, right? So either brokers will be dealing with those two, agents will be representing either the buyers or the sellers, right? And the third one to be manufacturers and retailers, branches and officers, a form of wholesaling by sellers or buyers themselves rather than through independent wholesalers, right? So these people, right, why it is said to be wholesaling is they are having the branch outlet, right? Branch outlet, not to be as an outlet in the sense many things have to be available, and of course people must be able to visit it and purchase whenever and whatever time that they wanted. But this is having about the limitation, like in bundles, that you may be able to purchase it, but uh, they don't have an independent wholesaler. Independent wholesaler means they are not third party. The wholesalers that they are going to have with them is the employees of that organization. So in that way, this type is coming to the particular type. Okay. So similar way, the wholesaling. So they also have about the wholesale strategy and wholesale marketing mix, right? So in this wholesale segmentation and targeting, differentiation and service positioning are there. At the same time, as a wholesale marketing mix, you will see the product, the prices, promotion, and also the distribution. Okay, so regarding of this wholesale marketing decision about the segmentation, that is the wholesaling marketing strategy, right? So segmentation, targeting, differentiation, position. What are the decision? The size of the customer, the types of customers, as well as need for the services. So this we have to decide by having about this segmentation, targeting, differentiation, and the positioning one. And along with that, we can see about the marketing mix, right, regarding of product price, promotion, and place. Then, what is the trend in wholesale? Which we have to also look into. So here we wanted a greater efficiency taking place because through efficiency we can minimize the cost, and that as a result we can make the prices or cost of the particular transaction be minimized or reduced with, right? And also value adding customer relationship, because as these people are dealing direct away with the consumers or the retailers, then of course building about good bonds, right, with the consumers or retailers are value adding, because time to time whatever that they are requiring about their behavior, their buying pattern, their intention, whatever, can be well early known by the manufacturer. So they may be able to provide such products or services as per the requirement. Then increase in the customer demand for the services. Right. So now the customers regarding of the services are being very much increased right now. Say when you're purchasing some product nowadays, what that you ask about whether it is available at credit, whether if there is any fault happening, repairs can be done, right? Whether it is being transported, whether there is training to use about that is provided, right? Many things that we wanted when you are consuming about a particular product, right? So in that way, we can see that consumers are very concerned about the long lasting of the product by maintenance, by transportation, by proper information of the usage, right? Then increase in the use of technology to boost productivity, right? So in many angles, as that we have seen in the retailing also, that technologies, what do you call, usage has been increased with, right? Usage of technology has been increased, and it is been helping in different spectrums, right? So this is what we see about for this wholesaling. Okay, so with this we complete about the wholesaling. Give me a 5 minutes break for me to upload or to share the slides of the next section, that is on what? Okay, so this is our final chapter. Okay, so in our marketing mix, we are moving towards the last one, that to be the promotion. And most of the time, these promotions or the promotion aspects, or maybe the element of the promotion is spoken as this, right? Where most of the time we talk them or we discuss them in terms of this one, integrated marketing communication strategy. Integrated marketing communication. So by promotion, what happens is, as that you know, promotion has two very important functions. One is giving about the awareness, right, to the consumers that these type of products or services are available, right. Other one is inducing them, right, means triggering them towards purchasing such products or services, right. So not only having about the information provided, but also making them to commit towards purchasing such products or services. So this is the very important function of a promotion. So how that we can make about the promotion for us, I mean to make about the marketing communication. This is what I said, no? First one is that you are communicating, you are making about the awareness, right? So by that, again, you have the inducement to purchasing, right? So communicating the marketing or communicating about the products or services may take place through many tools. That is what we call them as marketing, as a promotional mix. Right? It can happen by many tools. So there is a possibility. There are possibilities of making such communication towards the consumers by many ways or many avenues, right? But those avenues have to be integrated. That is why here we get the subject as integrated marketing communication. Okay, right. So, as I was speaking about, in this promotion, there are many ways that we can reach out. Rather than reach out, we can share about the information about the products or services. Right? One side, it is called as promotion mix, and on the other side, even it can be called as marketing communication mix. Right? Don't get confused when these two terminologies are being used. If marketing communication mix, that also having the same meaning of promotion mix, right? Marketing mix is different, but marketing communication mix is same as the promotion mix. So means there is a collection of tools which that we can use in order to promote our product among the customers or consumers. Right. So what sort of tools that is available if we uh, try to find out. Now here you see there are five tools are very specifically pointed out, but not necessary for us to restrict ourselves over these five. Now you will see there is social marketing also, mobile marketing. Many things are coming into, right, but not necessary for us to confine ourselves. Even the Facebook marketing is also there, where you can give about the information. Most of the things, even email marketing is there. Like most of the information you are providing through the latest technology. But of course, these are also even nowadays practice which that we have to have understanding over that. So one to be advertising, other one to be personal selling, then sales promotion, public relation, as well as direct marketing. Right? And if it is advertising, what does it mean by advertising in the sense? This is, of course, the expenditure is being borne by the marketer. The marketer who plays about the advertisement have to absorb the expenditure of doing the advertisement. But of course, this is done non-personally. That is, it is not targeting of individual people as a collective of people, or it is being targeted towards the collective of many people. Right? It is not individual. Okay. But personal selling, of course, is different from advertising. Here also, there is a presentation taking place. So here for the advertisement, we say that to be a non-personal presentation by the sponsor. So who is the sponsor? That is the marketer, right? So he make about the payment, right, in order to do the advertisement. But of course, these advertisements are being designed of reaching about many people at a time. But the thing is, it is not personally targeting of individual, right? It is a common, right? Advertisements are the thing that we see which are common, which may be suitable to us, but of course it is not targeted A, B, or C, or whoever person as an individual. But personal selling, here also it is a personal presentation by the sales force. Now, people who maybe comes into your home front, or people who are there in the marketing place, in the sense maybe the stores, or maybe in the shop, right? They are presenting the information personally. Now, say for an instance, if you go to a shop and ask for a sari, right? They will present the sari according to your requirement. Now, what is your requirement? Right? What type of sari that you wanted to purchase, whether that is for casual use or whether it is for parties or functions or whatever. Now, so if I decide that to be a casual, then they will be asking about what is the prices that you are looking to purchase about. So, according to your requirement, that they are presenting that. So, that is what we call it as a personal selling. People may take about the products door to door and have about the personal selling, that is according to your requirements, that they are trying to put the information, and the information by that, uh, so the information that they are giving about is very much appropriate or very much relevant to what that you are requiring with, right? So that is what we call it as a personal selling. So therefore, I think that you will understand the difference between the marketing as well as personal selling. Right? Now, moving into the third one, that will be the sales promotion. So, in the sales promotion, what they do is they provide some short-term incentives in order to increase the sales, right, for a shorter period of time. By sales promotion, we don't, or as a marketer, we don't expect that to promote the sales for a longer period, right? For a shorter period, the sales, if you think that I have to increase about the sales, this is a good tool, right? You provide about the short term incentives, right? So sometimes when you purchase this one product, they will say this product is freely available, right? Or when you're purchasing two products together, they will say this much of discount that you can get. Or sometimes if you purchase products more than 2000 rupees, this much of voucher that you can get. Then you can redeem those voucher when you make about the purchase in the future. So that is what we call it as sales promotion. Like sometimes they may have a exhibition also, right? In the exhibition, they try to promote the sales. In the short time exhibition, we are not going to have throughout the year, so once in a way, right? Exhibition that you have, and through that sales have been promoted. So here, uh, giving about incentives, we are promoting about the product. That is what we call it as a sales promotion. Okay. Public relation, this is of course which is something different from the above three that we have seen, right? Public relations, of course, rather than we promote about our product. Of course, the product is being promoted here. There is no second word over that. But we are trying to build about a good relationship with the public, right? Sometimes it is called as PR activities. Social responsibility activities are also may come under this one, right? Where that we try to promote something, right? Say for an instance, we promote the sports. So when you're promoting the sports, what will happen is these organizations, right, sponsored by this organization. So the name is very familiar, and even in the case that they are sponsoring these programs, like say for an instance, the sports, now maybe conferences are being held, exhibitions are being held. Some organizations are sponsoring that, right? So they give a money for those events to take place. So why that they do it? By this, their popularity increases, right? The organization is being planted in the minds of the consumers. They are there, right? So they know, they come to know this is the organization, which is of course with good heart, where that they are promoting about the sports, where the sports is very good and healthy activity, which has to be really done. So they are promoting that. Therefore, these organizations have to be good. So once that we see about the products of that organization, in the next instance, what will happen? We will be very much interested to purchase, right? So that is how that they are trying to promote about their product, right? So this is a strategy, really. They have the public relations, so building good relations with the various public. Say sometimes you will see the bus stops which are being built by certain organization. They will say it is been built by this organization. Hospitals, they build and give some wards, and you will see that particular organization name is there. So we are what do you call, unnoticedly that is being captured in the minds, right? So when that is being captured, then that organization have a good name created, and subsequently their products and services are being required or consumed or demanded by. Direct marketing, short-term incentives to encourage sales. Of course, through this direct marketing, right? What we are doing is we as an organization tries to provide some sort of incentives, and through that incentives, there is a great awareness provided, and by that awareness, we try to capture more consumers. Okay, so these are the tools. Now we will come into understanding about this IMC, that is Integrated Marketing Communication. Now, what does it mean by this is we are carefully integrated and coordinating the company's many communication channels. What are the many communication channels? Can anyone name me? What are the marketing channels? Sorry, marketing communication channels. MS-28, MS28, unmute yourself. Form 145. What are the marketing communication channels? Form 145. First, you learn to unmute. I am asking you question. 140 numbers had been there. Now 6 of them have left. Very good. Form 33. Form 33, normally you answer. Form 43. You don't answer. I will put this in the reference, right? You better refer and you learn by yourself. I am not going to bother of teaching this subject. Make about an attempt. No, I am not going to scold if you are giving the wrong answer, entirely wrong answer even. I am not worried. But what I wanted for you to come forward and speak out. Form 51. Are you there or you have got connected and now wandering around? Form 55. Form 149. Form 159. Wait now. You are going to have the mid-semester examination. Those who are not attending, I am not going to allow you. I will block you. MS7. MS2. MS100. MS73.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the communication channels, marketing communication channels available?
Advertising, email, Facebook, blogs.
Previously, what I was teaching? Advertising, Facebook, marketing, then that, the very
Direct
conventional
marketing.
one I told you. Huh?
Direct marketing.
Yes, direct marketing, advertising. In contrast to advertising, there had been another channel I told you. What is it? One is personal, other one is non-personal. Non-personal is advertising. Personal,
Public relation.
that is not personal. Public relations, yes, that is also a tool. Where that by building a goodwill that we try to attract. Yes. Personal and non-personal. Buying about a sari, I told it as an example. Personal selling, isn't it? Personal selling.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Tirisha, isn't it?
Trisha, ma'am.
Trisha. Okay, Trisha. Right. Yes, a good attempt. Thank you. Right. So, through the marketing communication channels, we try to deliver a clear, consistent, and compelling message. So, compelling message in the sense it is a inducement. Now, you can see, this particular what do you call this figure? There are many things, no? You see YouTube's, right? You see the mobile phones, you see the tabs, the Facebook, right? The letters. That is a very traditional one, right? So, so what we uh, like to do is we integrate all the marketing communication channels, and you have to give about a consistent message. Now, through personal selling one message and through advertisement another message, that you may not be able to do it, right? In the sense, if you do it, what will happen is they may lose about the trust that they have, right? So the integrated marketing communication is there. So we have seen in the past that marketers try to sell about highly standardized products to the customers, right? So standardized product. So when the standardized products are there, we need not to tell much, for the reason there is no different information, right? Almost all the products coming from all the competitors are same, so same information, right? In the process, they develop effective mass media communication technique to support the strategies, right? So maybe while the products have been produced or designed or had layout with in that time itself that we start about the communication process. So mass media communication starts not only once that the product has been completed or services are being available, it is starting well ahead, right? So here uh, uh, nowadays, of course, these marketing managers face about some very important challenges in the communication, right? We have to explore into what are the factors that has changed or the requirement or change the what you call the importance for the marketing communication, right? So, what are the things which had made it more concern over is by this. The consumers are changing, right? So, consumers' information wanted or consumers' behavior or their intention are very much changing, right? So through this latest technology as called as digital or wireless, right? Consumers are able to get more information, right? By that information, they are empowered. So, what do you mean by empowered? You are given of more stuff to make about good decision, right? So they are able to get it now. If you want to buy a product, that old days, then you have to go to that shop and see whatever products are available. Now it's not that, right? You put it in your mobile and see where these products are available, at what prices it is available. So this local person cannot have a high price for the product because we are well known, or we have well information of the prices which is available, not only locally, even in the foreign arena, right? So these have made about more importance, right? And marketing strategies are also changing, right? The marketers have fragmented, where that not to consider about the whole market. There are markets being what do you call segmented into, right? So when the segmented markets are there, we may come across many narrowed, uh, what do you call, niches or micro markets. So in the micro markets, the strategies are very much different, right? So there is a very often changing strategies taking place, right? And also sweeping about the advantages, where nowadays we know that there had been many advantages that are being taken uh, by the technology, right? Technology have its a presence in all areas, so it is not what you call a newer one for the communication process. And mostly in the communication process only, you see about vast what you call impact taking place through the technology. So the technology advantages are very much there, right? And in the new marketing communication world, rather than using an old approach that interrupt customers, force free them mass messages, right? So earlier, of course, that we had to give more information, right, regarding of the product's consumption, but now there can be comparative messages provided to the consumers, how that we are better off, right? What are the features, that what are the characters that we are having, how that we are better off, can be easily provided, right? Uh, so, uh, so therefore, there is more interaction, intervention, and also interchange taking place, right? So, the consumers are very much engaged with, and they are committed towards the purchasing. And also, even though that we talk about there is a large, what do you call, invention or inversion by the technology, still organizations are even following about the traditional media or traditional way of promoting. That is, we cannot give away without the advertisements or sales promotions or whatever, right? But it depends on what is the budget that is being allocated. Since it is consuming about large or very high amount of expenditure for the traditional communication tools, most of the organizations are shifting themselves of being concerned over to this new technological uh, way of communicating, or a way making about the awareness too, right? So many marketers are very much worried about the content of this marketing, right? So when you are creating about the messages or creating about information, what is the content it has, right? Where it may be telling about the benefits, telling about what sort of like features it is having, about how it is better than other products or other brands that is available, right? So these sort of things have to be really uh, taken into. Now, what is the necessitation of these IMC? Market fragmentation has also given a way for market for media fragmentation. So we know there are market segmentized, and for each of the segments that you may be having about different consumers. So for each of those or for those different groups, it is not good to have the same communication channel. So we may be requiring about different media fragments, right? So different media involved, right? And also there is alternative channels nowadays available. So as I told you, there may be catalogs, right, maps, internet sites, and whatever. And all message seen as one single message to the consumer, right? So even that you can target individual people for the messaging of your products or services, right? So in inbox or something like that, yeah, it can be not only a vast communication process to all, even you can individualize those communication for single person, right? And also you see about they have to be online, mobile, social media marketing also taking, but what that we have to really understand is everything has to be integrated with. Now coming into communication process, of course this is a thing that you would have already learned in your first year, your second years, no? Yeah, first year in the, what is the subject called? Process of management, isn't it? Right? So there, you know, how the communication take place, sender to receiver. So once the message gets out from sender, it is being encoded, right? And therefore the message is being created, and we find out what is the media to be appropriate, and through the media it is being transferred with, and it will be undergone of decoding, and once the decoding happens, the receiver will receive the message or understand the message, and once the understanding had been take place, there will be a response, and the response also will lead to a feedback, right? And also that you see in between these process there is some obstacles taking place, and that may be through the noise, very specifically, right? So these are the things that is there in the diagram. I need not to explain that because already that you are familiar with this, right? So with this I will finish, and I'll continue my lectures, but on Thursday I may not be able to take it at 10:30. 11 o'clock I have a meeting. Can it be before that, 8:30? 8:30 to 10:30? Or even 9:30 to 10:30? Is it possible? Do you have lectures 8:30 to 10:30? Students, I'm asking from you now. If not, I will cancel. Right, and I will put this to the reference. You better learn by yourself. Okay. So I asked you, you didn't give the time. I'm putting this in reference. Okay, thank you very much.